This right here is the setup, and I think it's the final setup. I ordered some stuff, sent it back, ordered some other, lent some from friends, researched a lot online. I think this is it. Hey guys, welcome to the studio. Exciting day today. The entire day is full of exciting, cool stuff. Finishing up the ceiling right here. And I also need to remind you of the sample contest we're still running together with TrackClip. They're like a sample website, and you can download the stems to my song All About, rearrange them, reuse them, sample them, make your own song, submit it, and win really big. If you're interested, I'll link it down below. Next up, let's talk about the live setup first. As you might know, I'm building up a live setup. I'm quitting DJing. Basically, I want to do my own music on stage because it's possible technically, and I also feel ready for it, and I'm bored of DJing. I was thinking of using the Push, which is excellent. I absolutely love it. It's like the best you could pair with Ableton because it's by the same company, so it's really integrated. But for live, I think I need something else, because on here I'm missing faders and a clear structure. You have to select the channel to tweak the knobs. It's very good for making music, and also in some instances it's amazing for live, but I actually need something else. Something I used to make music live with like 6-7 years ago. I'm actually using the old Akai APC40. I had the MK2 version, but the old version has the following advantages. It has 2-foot switches that you can use that are viable, very good, usable in a live setup situation. I'll show you in a bit. And yes, the LEDs don't change the color. It can only do like orange, red, and yellow. It doesn't match what I'm seeing on the screen, but I have the screen. And then also what I love, here I got record, arm, solo, activate on different rows. On the new one, it's like in a block of 4. It's less intuitive to actually use. This one is half the price, and the faders are a lot better. I don't know what they did. But anyways, the Akai APC40, the classic, the OB6 as a synthesizer, the M Audio Air as an interface, has the right amount of ins and outs for me. And this little guy right here, just to have like 16 pads I can trigger. And then down here, 3-foot switches. This one is an expression pedal, so I can open and close the cutoff. This one right here, it's cutting the reverb. So when my foot is on there, a lot of reverb. If I leave it, reverb is cut. Dry sound. And the amount of reverb is just right here. And this one is just triggering recording. If I play something in right here, I can just stop the recording with this one. And it's fully working. I have the OB6 that either gets MIDI triggered or I can play it. I can put like hold on, do an ARP, just chords, change presets, everything. The Akai APC is just for effects and triggering stuff, and also mixing it a little. I want to mix everything already before, because doing mixing on stage is weird. But if I want to introduce something, I can like fade it slowly in. And then of course I don't know, if I want to play a hi-hat live, I can hit record, play it. I can also do note repeats. That's kind of nice and handy. The only thing I'm still thinking about is like having a second synthesizer in this setup. This would give me a little more freedom, because right now, let's say if I have a song with drums, the drums are triggered, then I have like an ARP that is played with the OB6, but if I want to have like an additional bass line to it, I have to have it in audio in the computer or using a software instrument that is draining a lot of CPU. So like a second synthesizer would be so nice, but I don't know if all of this fits into a suitcase, and touring with 2 synths might be more complicated, but I'll test it in the coming weeks, and I'll see if I need a second one. But yeah, that's the setup. I don't think anything big will change. Maybe some pedals and effects, some real ones in between. But next step is triggering it to another computer, sending OC and MIDI to trigger the live light show that will be projected onto this surface. This is just for now, just some boxes, so we can move it around and just experiment a little. I ordered another projector. Like the light thing is not going as planned at the moment, but in a week or two, hopefully again. A couple of hours later, it's working. We got the visuals behind me, beat sync to the music. And the music is working, the setup is working. It's just one song so far, but that one song is working, visuals working, and we made a big decision today, or I made that big decision. I was first thinking about doing like, that's still the watermark. That software is like 700 euros. That's really expensive. So I will only buy it once I'm sure it's the right one. But so far looking promising. So I can have stuff like this that pulsates to the music. I could map it in a way that, for example, whenever I hit a kick, it distorts with the kick. All of this will be... we could do it with like just one computer, fire it up, but the big decision like was to move away from the 3D project mapping. There were just too many question marks, too many things that would go wrong, and I think this right here is the safer but still effectful enough option. Of course, bigger. The circle needs to be at least like a meter bigger, but then it's just me in front of it, plus the live music. I think that's the best option, because the 3D mapping thing, if the projector moves by a millimeter, all of it is ruined. You need two projectors, both setting up, both transporting. With this setup, even if the projector fails and the club has one, we can use the one of the club. So it will be more about having like cool stuff for the background. Let me actually, I got some. For example, this one right there, it's very trippy. So a lot of cool stuff we can do. Wow, it's so bright. I've been sitting like in the dark for the past 2 hours. The rest of the day will be mostly me sitting here, playing the drums, playing the piano, training, singing, all of the music stuff. But the live setup, now that we ditched the 3D mapping thing, is possible. It's easy now. It's like one person can do it. One computer is enough. One projector is enough. And it's still enough to separate me from other people DJing and playing live. And we can play around more with like having different artists create different visuals for each and every song. The 3D mapping, there are only a few very specialized people that know how to properly do it. And I asked a couple of companies and they want like between 2,500 to 8,000 euros for 1 minute of content they make. And now think about like a live show that is like 1 to 2 hours. It's impossible to pay. Anyways, tomorrow back here, back to music making, back to exploring this live setup situation and training a little more, playing all of these instruments. Someone tuned the snare. Sounds better. Nice.